So let us say Bhima is a cook by profession. He takes off his shoes after entering the kitchen. Now, after completing his work, he comes out and wears a pair of shoes, thinking that they are his own, and leaves. But he soon discovers that it is not his pair. So he promptly rushes to return them to the lawful owner Arjun. But Arjun, who is the original owner of the pair of shoes that Bhima took, discovers in the meantime that his shoes are missing. So he plans to sue Bhima, saying that he has committed a theft. Question is, can you actually say that Bhima has committed a theft? Taking into consideration the same definition that was given before, one very important point which I had pointed out was that there must be a dishonest intention. And very clearly in this case we can see that Bhima accidentally happened to switch his pair of shoes. He did not intend to steal. He did not intend to do anything wrong. In fact, he thought it was his own pair of shoes. It was just a case of mistake. And because there is no intention, there is no dishonest intention, we cannot call that this is a case of theft. So no, Bhima cannot be sued. Now, let us say there is a person, Prem Chopra, who has an account worth about 1 lakh in a certain bank. Now, he attempts to steal, let us say, 100 rupee note from the bank, and when he is caught, he says that he has a 1 lakh rupee account with the bank, so this money is anyway mine, so just deduct it from my account. Can this person, Prem, be said to be guilty of theft? He has taken 100 rupees from the teller's box, from the cashier's box, and he has an account worth 1 lakh rupees in the bank. So can't they simply adjust it against his account? The answer is no. The proper procedure of taking money from the bank is to fill in the slip or use an ATM card or whatever. You do not enter and simply put your hand in the cashier's box and remove money. So although he had a big account with the bank and the money he took was extremely small, it will not be adjusted. That is a clear case of theft here. You have to follow procedures. And the principle also says a person can be guilty of committing theft of his own property if he does so from someone who is responsible to keep this. Let us say that you have given me a certain amount of money which belongs to you for safekeeping. Now I keep it in my drawer. In my absence, you come and withdraw that money. Is theft committed? The answer is yes. You have given me the money for safekeeping. So the way of taking the money back is to take it back with my knowing. Without my knowing, if you remove that from my safe, tomorrow you can come and claim that this money has been lost and I am not able to discover the money in my drawer. Right? So, if you have given me something which belongs to you for safekeeping, you cannot take it back without my knowing. You have to take it back after informing me. Extortion, and we are very clear. So many movies and books and novels, so we know what is extortion. Let us just take a look at the definition, the principle. It says, when any person intentionally induces another to deliver a person or property by threatening to injure him, he is committing the offense of extortion. And this offense extends to putting a person in fear of death or grave hurt. So if you ask me to give you a person or something by threatening to injure me or putting me in fear of death, then what you are doing is committing the crime of extortion. So let us say Uddhav Singh threatens to kill Amar's wife unless Amar pays a sum of rupees 25,000 to Singh. Is Singh guilty of extortion? Yes, he is. What if Amar does not love his wife? Even in this case, it does not matter. Uddhav Singh is not supposed to threaten to kill somebody, and because he does so, he has committed the guilt of extortion. We have already seen theft. What is robbery? Know this. When death, hurt or wrongful restraint is caused to the victim while committing the offense of theft, it amounts to robbery. So robbery is an upgrade of theft. You commit theft, fine. But during the commission of the theft, if you cause death, or you hurt somebody, or you wrongfully restrain the victim, then not only have you committed theft, you have also committed robbery. So now we are charged with two things: A, theft; B, robbery. Similarly, when an offender at the time of committing extortion is in the presence of the victim and he puts the victim in fear of death or hurt, then he's also committed the offense of robbery. You extort somebody over the phone, it's extortion. It's plain and simple. You extort somebody in their presence by threatening to kill them or hurt them, not only are you guilty of extortion, you are also guilty of robbery. So robbery is an upgraded crime for both theft and extortion. If you want to still escalate it, when 5 or more people jointly commit robbery, every person is said to have committed dacoity. So dacoity is robbery with minimum 5 people or more. So theft, upgraded, hurt or fear of hurt, robbery in presence of 5 or more people who are jointly doing the wrongful act, dacoity. What is criminal misappropriation of property then? Well, any dishonest misappropriation or conversion of a movable property by a person for his own use is criminal misappropriation of property. But if a person finds some property not in the possession of another and simply takes it either for protecting it or giving it back to the owner, then you cannot claim that the person has committed criminal misappropriation of property. He is free of guilt. He is not liable. So, let us say Renzel is a music director, he is on his way home and he found a platinum pen which is at the gate of the studio. Now he is not sure whether it belongs to his boss Rahman or not. So next morning he is making inquiries and he discovers that the pen is indeed Rahman's property. So he promptly hands it over to Rahman. Now for the duration that the pen was in Renzel's charge, from the night till the morning, can Rahman accuse Renzel of criminal misappropriation of property? The answer is no. No dishonest intention. And very clearly we saw the principle of the previous screen, that if a person keeps another's property merely for the sake of protecting it or with the intention of giving it back to the owner, there can be no charge of criminal misappropriation of property. So even in this case, will Rahman succeed if he brings a case? The answer is no. Renzel cannot be accused of criminal misappropriation of property. Cheating. A person cheats when he deceives another. Another word for cheating. And fraudulently and dishonestly induces him to part with the property to any person, or agrees that a person shall retain property knowing that this act should harm the person, that is the victim's reputation or the victim's property. So cheating is not just if I ask you to give me some property under some fraud or pretext. If I make you keep something with you, knowing very well that such a retention is going to either harm you, your property or your reputation, even in such a case, I can be held guilty on the charge of cheating. Simple trespass would fall under tort laws, right? It's not a great offense. However, trespass has various flavors. So any person who either enters into or has already entered into the property of another with the intention to insult or intimidate the person who is in possession of the property is said to be committing something known as criminal trespass. So, let us say with the intention of insulting me or intimidating me, you enter my property, I can sue you for criminal trespass. Let us say I invited you to my house. You come into my house, but then suddenly you decide you want to insult me, intimidate me, which means that you are no longer welcome. I ask you to leave. You do not leave. Even in such a case, although your initial entry was at my invitation, you are no longer welcome once you start insulting or intimidating me. And once you start doing such things, my invitation to you has been taken back. Now, if you do not leave my property immediately, I can take you to court for criminal trespass. Counterfeiting. A person is said to counterfeit when he causes one thing to resemble another with the intention of deception. Many times we see such fraud things in the market. You go to shops, you ask for a chocolate and you get a red color wrapper chocolate, Kit Kat. Now we know the original brand name is something else, but we have seen all those so-called branded shirts and apparels and toys, very similar to the original brand but not quite. So a person can be accused of counterfeiting when he causes one thing to resemble another with the intention of deception. So generally counterfeiting can take place in things like coins, seals, mohar, government stamps, and generally it happens in trademarks. So the trademark of famous biscuit companies or soft drinks or consumer durables or electronic items, they are often counterfeited. Fakes are made. That is a criminal offense.